Otherwise, enjoy the show. All's well that ends well.
In delivering a son from me, I bury a second husband.
And I, in going, madam, weep o'er my father's death anew, but I must attend his majesty's command, to whom I am now in ward, evermore in subjection.
What hope is there of his majesty's amendment?
He hath abandoned his physicians, madam.
This young gentlewoman had a father. Oh, that had! How sad a passage 'tis, whose skill was almost as great as his honesty. Would he were still living for the king's sake.
What is it, my good lord, the king languishes of?
A fistula, my lord.
No more of this, go to. No more.
Madam, I desire your holy wishes.
Be thou blessed, Bertram, and succeed thy father in manners as in shape. Thy blood and virtue contend for empire in thee, and thy goodness share with thy birthright. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. Be able for thine enemy rather in power than use, and keep thy friend under thy own life's keep. Be checked for silence, but never taxed for speech. What heaven more will that thee may furnish, and my prayers plucked down fall on thy head. Farewell, Bertram.
Oh, the best wishes that could be forged in your thoughts be servants to you. Be comfortable to my mother, your mistress, and make much of her. Farewell. You must hold the credit of your father.
Oh, were that all! I think not on my father, and these great tears grace his remembrance more than those I shed for him. What was he like? I have forgot him. My imagination carries no favor in it but Bertram's. I am undone. There is no living, none, if Bertram be away. 'Twere all one that I should love a bright particular star and seek to wed it. He is so above me. In his bright radiance and collateral light must I be comforted, not in his sphere. The ambition in my love thus plagues itself. 'Twas pretty, though plague, to see him every hour, to sit and draw his arched brow, his hawking eye, his curls in our heart's table, heart too capable of every line and trick of his sweet favor. But now he's gone, and my idolatrous fancies must sanctify his relics. Who comes here? Oh, one that goes with him. I love him for Bertram's sake, and yet I know him a notorious liar. Think him a great way fool, solely a coward.
Save you, fair queen.
And you, monarch?
Are you meditating on virginity?
Aye! You have some stain of soldier in you. Let me ask you a question. Man is enemy to virginity. How may we barricado it against him?
Keep him out.
But he assails, and our virginity, though valiant in the defense, yet is weak. Unfold to us some warlike resistance.
is none.
Oh.
Men sitting down before you will undermine you and blow you up.
Oh, bless our poor virginity from underminers and blowers up. Is there no military policy how virgins might blow up men?
Virginity being blown down, men will quicklier be blown up.
Oh.
Marry, and blowing him down with the breach yourselves, you lose your city. It is not politic in the commonwealth of nature to preserve virginity. Loss of virginity is rational increase, and there was never virgin got till virginity was first lost. That you were made of is metal to make virgins. Virginity, by being once lost, may be 10 times found. Ha! 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 By being ever kept, it is ever lost. Oh, 'tis too cold a companion. Away with it.
Well, I will stand for it a little, though therefore I die a virgin.
There's little can be said in it. Speaking on the part of virginity is to speak against your mothers, which is most infallible disobedience. I am so full of business, I cannot answer thee acutely. Go, get yourself a husband, and use him as he uses thee. And so, farewell.
Our remedies oft in ourselves do lie, which we ascribe to heaven. The fated sky gives us free scope, only doth backward pull our slow designs when we ourselves are dull. What power is it that mounts my love so high, that makes me see and cannot feed mine eye? The mightiest space in fortune nature brings, to join like likes and kiss like native things. Impossible be strange attempts to those that weigh their pains in sense and do suppose what hath been cannot be. Whoever strove to show her merit that did miss her love, the king's disease. My project may deceive me, but my intents are fixed and will not leave me.
What's he that comes here?
It's the Count Rousillion, your majesty, young Bertram.
Youth! Thou bearest thy father's face. Frank, rather curious then, in haste hath well composed thee. Thy father's moral parts mayest thou inherit too. Welcome to Paris.
Thank your majesty.
I would I had the corporal soundness of when thyself, thy father, and myself first in friendship tried our soldiership. It much repairs me to talk of your good father. In his youth, he had the wit which I can well observe today in our young lords, but they may jest till their scorn return to them unnoted, ere they can hide their levity in honor. His tongue obeyed his hand, were below him he used as creatures of another place, bowing his eminent top to their lower ranks, making them proud of his humility. In the poor praise he humbled. Such a man might be a picture to these younger times, which, followed well, would demonstrate them now, but goes backwards.
His good remembrance, sir, lies richer in your thoughts than on his tomb.
How long has it been since the physician at your father's died?
Some
Much famed.
6 months since, my lord.
I would he were alive. I would try him yet. The rest have worn me out with several applications. Nature and sickness debated at their leisure. Welcome, Count. My son's no dearer.
Thank your majesty.
What is your pleasure, madam?
You know, Helen, I am a mother to you.
Mine honorable mistress.
Nay, a mother. Why not a mother? When I said a mother, methought you saw a serpent. What's the matter that this distempered messenger of wet, this many-colored iris rounds thine eye? Why? That you are my daughter.
That I am not.
I say I am your mother.
Pardon, madam. The Count Rousillion cannot be my brother. I am from humble, he from honored name. My master, my dear lord he is, and I his servant live, and will his vassal die. He must not be my brother.
What? Pale again? My fear hath catched your fondness. Now I see the mystery to your loneliness and find your salt tears head. Now to all sense 'tis gross you love my son.
Your pardon, madam.
Love you, my son.
Your pardon, noble mistress.
Do you love my son?
Do you not love him, madam?
Go not about. My love hath in it a bond whereof the world takes note. Come, disclose the state of your affections, for your passions have to the full appeached.
Then I confess, here, on my knee, before high heaven and you, I love your son. My friends were poor, but honest, so's my love. Be not offended, for it hurts him not that he is loved of me. My dearest madam, let not your hate encounter with my love for loving where you do.
Even so it was with me when I was young. If ever we are nature's, these are ours. This thorn doth to our rose of youth rightly belong. Our blood to us, this to our blood is born. It is the show and seal of nature's truth, where love's strong passion is impressed in youth. By our remembrances of days far gone, such were our faults, or then we thought them none. Had you not an intent lately, speak truly, to go to Paris?
Madam, I had.
Wherefore, tell true.
You know, my father left me some prescriptions of rare and proved effects, such as his reading and manifest experience had collected for general sovereignty. Amongst the rest, there is a remedy, approved, set down, to cure the desperate languishings whereof the king is rendered lost.
This was your motive for Paris, was it?
My lord, your son made me to think of this.
But think you, Helen, if you should suppose your tender aid, he would receive it. He and his physicians are of a mind, he that they cannot help. They that cannot help. How shall they credit a poor, unlearned virgin when the schools, emboweled of their doctrine, have left off the danger to itself?
There's something in it, more than my father's skill, which was greatest of his profession, that his good receipt shall for my legacy be sanctified by the luckiest stars of heaven. And would your honor but give me leave to try success, I'd wager the well-lost life of mine on his grace's cure by such a day and hour.
Dost thou believe it?
Aye, madam, knowingly.
Well, Helen, you shall have my leave and love, means and attendance, and my loving greetings to those of mine in court. Be gone tomorrow, and be sure of this, for what I can help thee to, thou shalt not miss.
I have been, madam, a wicked creature, as you and all flesh and blood are, and indeed, I do marry, that I may repent. Bum bum ba-dum, bum bum ba-da-bum, bum bum ba-dum.
I am out of friends, madam. And I hope to have friends, of my wife's sake. Well, he that comforts my wife is the cherisher of my flesh and blood. He that cherishes my flesh and blood loves my flesh and blood. He that loves my flesh and blood is my friend. Ergo, he that kisses my wife is my friend. If men could be contented to be as they are, there would be no fear in marriage.
Now, fair one, does your business follow us?
Aye, my good lord. Gerrard de Narbonne was my father. In what he did profess, well found.
I know him.
The rather will I spare my praises toward him. Knowing him is enough. On's bed of death, many receipts he gave me. Chiefly one, which as the dearest issue of his practice he bade me store up as a triple I, safer than mine own two, more dear. I have so. And hearing your high majesty is touched with that malignant cause wherein the honor of my dear father's gift stands chief in power, I come to tender it, and my appliance with all bound humbleness.
We thank you, maid, but may not be so credulous of cure when our most learned doctors leave us, and the congregated college have concluded that laboring art can never ransom nature from her inedible estate. Such thanks I give, as one near death to those that hope him live, but what fool I know, thou know no part. I, knowing all my peril, thou know art.
What I can do no hurt to try, since you set up your rest 'gainst remedy. He that of greatest works is finisher oft does them by the weakest minister.
I must not hear thee, kind maid.
Dear sir, to my endeavors give consent. Of heaven, not me, make an experiment. I am not an impostor that proclaim myself against the level of mine aim, but no, I think and think I know most sure my art is not past power, nor you past cure.
Art thou so confident? Within what space hopest thou my cure?
Oh, the greatest grace, lending grace, ere twice the horses of the sun shall bring their fiery torture his diurnal ring. What is infirm from your sound parts shall fly. Health shall live free, and sickness freely die.
Upon thy certainty and confidence, what darest thou venture?
My maiden's name seared otherwise. Nay, worse of worst extended, with vilest torture, let my life be ended.
Methinks in thee some blessed spirit speaks his powerful voice within an organ weak. My life is dear. All that life can rate with name of life in thee. Youth, estimate, beauty, courage, and all that happiness and prime can happy call. sweet practitioner. Thy physic I will try.
Yes!
Which ministers thine own death if I die.
If I break time or flinch in property of what I spoke, unpitied, let me die. And well deserved, not helping, death's my fee. But if I help, what will you promise me?
Make thy demand.
But will you make it even?
I, by my scepter and my hopes of heaven.
Then shalt thou give me with thy kingly hand what husband in thy power I will command.
Here's my hand. The will observed, my will, thy will, by my performance shall be served. Give me some help here, Ho. If thou proceedest high as word, my deed shall match thy deed.
Come on, sir. I shall now put you to the height of your breeding.
I'll show myself highly fed and lowly taught. I know my business is but to the court.
To the court. Why? What make you special when you put off that with such contempt? But to the court.
Truly, madam, if God have lent a man any manners, he may easily put it off at court. He that cannot make a leg, put off his cap, kiss his hand, and say nothing, has neither legs, hands, lip, nor cap. And indeed, such a fellow to say precisely or not for the courts. But for me, I have an answer will serve all men.
Mary, that's a bountiful answer that fits all questions.
Aye. It's like a barber's chair that fits all buttocks. The pin buttock. Oh. The quatch buttock. The brawn buttock. Or any buttock.
It is an answer of most monstrous size that must fit all demands. To be young again if we could. I will be a fool in question, hoping to be the wiser by your answer. I play the noble hussif with a time to entertain it so merrily with a fool. An answer to your business. Give this to Helen and urge her present answer back. Commend me to my kinsman and my son. This is not much.
Not much commendation to them, but
Not much employment for you.
oh,
You understand me.
most fruitfully. I'm there before my legs.
Haste you again!
Yeah! Go! Call before me all the lords in the court! Sit, my physician, by thy patient side, and with this helpful hand, whose Spanish sense thou hast repealed, a second time receive the confirmation of my promised gift, which but attends thy naming. Send forth thine eye, this youthful parcel of noble bachelors stand at my bestowing, over whom both sovereign power and father's voice I have to use. Make choice. Thou hast power to choose, they none to refuse.
Gentlemen, heaven hath through me restored the king to health. I am a simple maid, and therein wealthiest that I protest. I simply am a maid. Please it your grace, I have done already. The blushes in my cheeks thus whisper me, we blush that thou shouldst choose, but be refused. Let the white death sit on thy cheek forever, we'll ne'er come there again.
Make choice and see. Who shuns thy love, shuns all his love in me.
I dare not say I take you, but I give me and my service ever, whilst I live, into your guiding power. This is the man.
Why then, young Bertram, take her, she's thy wife.
My wife, my liege? I beseech your highness, in such a business, give me leave to use the help of mine own eyes. A poor physician's daughter, my wife. Disdain rather corrupt me ever. I cannot love her, nor will strive to do't.
Thou wrongest thyself, if thou shouldest strive to choose.
That you are well restored, my lord, I'm glad. Let the rest go.
My honor's at stake, which to defeat. I must produce my power. Here, take her hand. Proud, scornful boy, unworthy this good gift, that dost in vilest prison shackle up my love and her desert. Check thy contempt. Obey our will, which travails in thy good.
Pardon, my gracious sovereign, for I submit my fancy to your eyes when I consider what great creation and what dole of honor flies where you bid it.
Take her hand and tell her she is thine, to whom I promise a counterpoise, if not to thy estate, a balance more replete.
I take her hand.
Good fortune and the favor of the king smile upon this contract, whose ceremony shall now seem expedient on the now born brief, and is now complete. The solemn feast shall more attend upon the coming space, expecting absent friends. As thou lovest her, thy love's to me religious, else does err.
Undone and forfeited to cares forever.
Well, what's the matter, sweetheart?
Although before the solemn priest I have sworn I will not bed her.
What, sweetheart?
Oh, my Parolles, they have married me. Oh, out to the Tuscan wars and never bed her.
France is a dog hole, and no more merits the tread of a man's foot. He who wears his honor in a box unseen hugs his kicky-wicky here at home, spending his manly marrow in her arms, which should sustain the bound and high curvet of Mars' fiery steed. To other regions, France is a stable. To those that dwell in it, jades. Therefore, to the wall!
It shall be so. I'll send her to my house, acquaint my mother with my hate to her, and wherefore I am fled. Write to the king that which I durst not speak. His present gift shall furnish me to those Italian fields where noble fellows strike. War's no strife to the dark house and the detested wife.
Why? The needs must as the devil drives. Art thou sure?
Yes. Tomorrow I'll send her straight to the war. I'll send myself straight to the war as she to her single sorrow.
What? These balls bound. There's noise in it. 'Tis hard. A man that's married is a man that's marred. Therefore, away, go. Leave her bravely. The king hath done you wrong. But 'tis so. Thou knowest me, a brave and true soldier, and I only speak truth.
Yes, Parolles, and a very valiant proof. Oh, here comes my clog.
parted from you, spoke with the king, and have procured his leave for present parting. Only he desires some private speech with you.
I shall obey his will. You must not marvel, Helen, at my course, which holds not color with the time, nor does the ministration or required office on my particular.
As I would have said.
Prepared I was not for such a business, therefore am I found so much unsettled. This drives me to entreat you that presently you take your way for home. 'Twill be 2 days ere I see you, so I leave you to your wisdom.
Sir, I can nothing say but that I am your most obedient servant.
Come, no more of that.
And ever shall, with true observance, seek to eke out that wherein toward me my homely stars have failed to equal my great fortune.
Let that go. My haste is very great. Farewell. Hi home.
Pray, sir, your pardon.
Well, what would you say?
I am not worthy of the wealth I owe, nor dare I say 'tis mine, and yet it is. But like a timorous thief, most fain would steal what law does vouch mine own.
What would you have?
Something, and scarce so much, nothing. Indeed, I would not tell you what I would, my lord. Faith, yes. Strangers and foes do sunder and not kiss?
I pray you, stay not, but in haste to horse.
I shall not break your bidding, good my lord.
Farewell.
Go thou toward home, where never I will come, whilst I can shake my sword or hear the drum. Away, and for our flight!
Bravely
What is the matter?
Madam, my lord is gone, forever gone.
Do not say so. Think upon patience, I pray you, Helen. I have felt so many quirks of joy and grief that the first face of neither on the start can woman me onto. Where's my son, I pray you?
He's gone to serve the Duke of Florence, madam. Look on his letter, madam. Here's my passport. When thou canst get the ring upon my finger, which never shall come off, and show me a child begotten of thy body that I am father to, then call me husband. But in such a then I write a never. This is a dreadful sentence.
I pray thee, lady, have better cheer. If thou engross us all, the griefs are thine. Thou robbest me of a moiety. He was my son, but I do wash his name out of my blood. Thou art all my child. Towards Florence, was he?
Aye, madam.
And to be a soldier.
Such is his noble purpose. Till I have no wife, I have nothing in France.
See you that there?
Aye, madam. 'Tis but the boldness of his hand, haply, which his heart was not consenting to.
Nothing in France till I have no wife. There is nothing here that is too good for him, but only she. And she deserves a lord that 20 such rude boys might attend upon and call her hourly mistress. Who is with him? Parolles, was it not?
Aye, my good lady, he...
A very tainted fellow, full of wickedness. My son corrupts a well-derived nature with his inducement.
Indeed, good lady.
This is not well. Rash and unbridled boy to fly the favors of so good a king, to pluck his indignation on thy head by the misprisings of a maid too virtuous for the contempt of the empire. I'll entreat the lords of fair to Florence, when they see my son, to tell him that his sword can never win the honor that he loses. More, I'll entreat them written to bear along.
Till I have no wife, I have nothing in France. Thou shalt have none, Rousillion, none in France. Then hast thou all again. Poor lord, is it I that chase thee from thy country, and expose those tender limbs of thine to the event of the none-sparing war? And is it I that drive thee from the sportive court, where thou wast shot at with fair eyes, to be the mark of smoky muskets? Come thou home, Rousillion, whence honor but of danger wins a scar, as oft it loses all. I will be gone. My being here it is that holds thee hence. Shall I stay here to do it? No. No. Although the air of paradise did fan the house, and angels officed all, I will be gone, that pitiful rumor may report my flight to consolate thine ear. Come, night, end, day, for with the dark, poor thief, I'll steal away.
Nay, come, for if they so approach the city, we shall lose all the sight.
They say the French count has done most honorable service. 'Tis reported he's taken their greatest commander, and that with his own hand he slew the Duke's brother.
Well, Diana, beware of this young earl. A maid's honor is in her name, and no legacy is so rich as honesty. I have told my neighbor how you've been solicited by a gentleman, his companion. I know the knave. Hang him! One Parolles. A filthy officer he is in those suggestions to the young lord. Oh, take heed of them, Diana. Their promises, enticements, outshokens, and all these engines of lust for not the things they go under. Many a maid hath been seduced by them.
You shall not need to fear me.
I hope so. Look, here comes a pilgrim. I know she will like my house. They send one another. I'll question her. God save you, holy pilgrim. Whither are you bound?
To Saint Jacques-le-Grand. Where do the Palmers lodge, I do beseech you?
At the St. Francis, here by the port.
Is this the way?
Aye, Mary, ist. If you will tarry, holy pilgrim, but till the soldiers pass, I will conduct you where you shall be lodged. For I think I know your host is as ample as myself.
Is it yourself?
If you so please, pilgrim.
I thank you, and will stay upon your leisure.
You came, I think, from France.
I did so.
Here you shall see a countryman of yours that hath done worthy service.
His name, I pray you.
The Count Rousillion, and know you such a one.
But by the ear which hears most nobly of him, his face I know not.
Whatsoever he is, he's bravely taken here. He stole from France, as 'tis reported, for the king had married him against his liking. Think you it is so?
Aye, surely, mere the truth. I know his lady.
Oh, and there is a gentleman here that serves the count, reports but coarsely of her.
What's his name?
Monsieur Parolles.
Oh. I believe with him in the argument of praise, or to the worth of the great count himself, She is too mean to have her name repeated.
Alas, poor lady, 'tis a hard bondage to be the wife of a detesting lord.
I warrant, good creature, wherever so she is, her heart weighs sadly. This young maid might do her a shrewd turn if she please.
How do you mean? Maybe the amorous count solicits her in the unlawful purpose?
He does indeed, and brooks with all that can in such a suit corrupt the tender honor of a maid. But she is armed against him and keeps up guard in honestest defense.
The gods forbid us!
The troops come.
Which is the Frenchman?
That with the plume.
Oh.
'Tis a gallant fellow. I would he loved his wife.
Oh.
If he were goodlier, he would be much honester. 'Tis a handsome gentleman.
I like him well.
'Tis pity he were not honest. Yon's the same knave that leads him to these places. Were I his lady, I would poison that vile rascal.
Which is he?
That jackanapes with the scarves.
Oh.
Why is he melancholy?
Perhaps he's hurt in the battle?
Lose our drum? Well,
He's shrewdly vexed at something. Look, he spied us.
Marry, hang you!
And your courtesy for a ring carrier.
The troop is past, and now I will conduct you where you shall be lodged.
I humbly thank you. And to requite you further, I will bestow some precepts of this virgin, worthy the note.
Oh, mamma mia!
Nay, good my lord, put him to it.
Do you believe I am so far deceived in Parolles?
Believe it, my lord, in my own direct knowledge, he's a most notable coward, an infinite and endless liar, an hourly promise breaker. It were fitting you knew him less, reposing too far in his virtue, which he hath not. He might, in a great and trusty business, in a main danger fail.
I knew in what particular action to try him.
None better than to let him fetch off his drum, which you dare so confidently undertake to do.
I, with a group of Florentines, will suddenly surprise him. Such I will have, as I am sure he knows not from the enemy. We will bind and hoodwink him, such that he shall suppose no other, but that he is carried into the leaguer of the adversary, when we shall bring him to our own tents. Be but your lordship present at his examination. If he do not, for the promise of his life, and in the highest compulsion of base fear, offer to betray you and deliver all the intelligence in his power against you, and that with the divine forfeit of his soul upon oath. Never trust my judgment in anything.
Oh, for the love of laughter, let him fetch up his drum. He has a stratagem for it. Look, here he comes.
How now, Monsieur, this drum sticks sorely in your disposition.
A pox on it. Let it go. 'Tis but a drum.
Is but a drum? But a drum! A drum so lost!
Some dishonor we had in the loss of that drum, but it is not to be recovered.
It might have been recovered.
It might, but it is not now.
It is to be recovered. By the hand of the soldier, I will recover it.
Oh, but you must not now slumber in it.
All about it this evening, and presently pen down my dilemmas, encourage myself in certainty, put myself in mortal preparation, and by midnight look to hear from me further. Farewell. I love not many words.
Is this not a strange fellow that so confidently seems to undertake this business, which he knows is not to be done?
If you misdoubt me that I am not she, I know not how I shall assure you further. The Count Rousillion is my husband, and what to your sworn counsel I have spoke is so from word to word.
I should believe you, for you have shown me that which well approves your great fortune.
Take this purse of gold, and let me buy your friendly help thus far, which I will overpay and pay again when I have found it. The Count, he woos your daughter, lays down his wanton siege before her beauty, resolved to carry her. Let her, in fine, consent, as we'll direct her how 'tis best to bear it. Now, his important blood will not deny that she'll demand. A ring the county wears. This ring he holds in most rich choice, yet in his idle fire to buy his will it would not seem too dear, howe'er repented after.
Now I see the bottom of your purpose.
You see it lawful then. 'Tis but that your daughter, ere she seems as one, desires this ring, appoints him an encounter, in fine, delivers me to fill the time, herself most chastely absent. After, to marry her, I'll add 3,000 crowns to what is past already.
I have yielded. It struck my daughter how she will persever. The time and place this deception, so lawful, may prove coherent. He comes to her every night with musics of all sorts and songs composed of her unworthiness, as if his life lay on it.
Why then, tonight, let us essay our plot.
Diana.
I was, and worth it, with addition. But fair soul, in your fine frame, hath love no quality? If the quick fire of youth light not your mind, you are no maiden, but a monument. When you are dead, you should be such as one as you are now, for you are cold and stern, and now You should be as your mother was when your sweet self was got.
She then was honest.
So should you be.
No, my mother did but duty. Such, my lord, as you owe your wife.
I pray thee, do not strive against my vows. I was compelled to her, but I love thee by love's own sweet constraint, and will forever do thee all rights of service.
Aye! So you serve us till we serve you. But when you have our roses, you barely leave our thorns to prick ourselves and mock us with our bareness. Give me that ring.
I'll lend it thee, my dear, but have no power to give it from me.
Will you not, my lord?
It is an honor, longing to our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy of the world in me to lose.
Mine honor such a ring. My chastity's the jewel of our house bequeathed down from many ancestors. The greatest obloquy the world in me to lose. Thus, your own proper wisdom brings in the champion honor on my part, against your vain assault.
Here, take my ring.
Oh.
My house, mine honor, yea, my life be thine, and I'll be bid by thee.
When midnight comes, knock at my chamber window. All order take my mother shall not hear. Now will I charge thee in the band of truth when you have conquered my yet maiden bed. Remain there but an hour, nor speak to me. My reasons are most strong. You shall know them. When back again this ring has been delivered and on your finger in the night, I'll put another ring. That what in time proceeds may token to the future of our past deeds. Do till then! Then fail not! You've won a wife of me, will there my hope be done?
A heaven on earth I have won by wooing thee.
He can come no other way but by this hedge corner. Ha! When you sally upon him, speak what terrible language you will, though you understand it not yourself, for we must not seem to understand him, unless someone among us whom we must produce for an interpreter.
Oh, good captain, let me be the interpreter.
Art not acquainted with him? Knows he not thy voice?
Nay, sir, I warrant you.
Oh, but couch ho! Here he comes to beguile 2 hours in a sleep, and then to return and swear the lies he forges.
What the devil should move me for the recovery of the strum? Being not ignorant of the purpose and knowing I had no such reason. I must give myself hurts and say I got them in exploit. Yet slight ones will not carry it. They will say, "Come you off with so little?" And great ones I dare not give. I at any drum of the enemies, I would swear I'd recovered it.
Cargo!
I know you are of the Musco's regiment, and I should lose my life for want of language. If there here be German or Dane, though Dutch, Italian, or French, let him speak to me. I'll discover that which shall undo the Florentine.
Oh, Vasco Savavato, I understand thee and can speak thy tongue. Carely bonto, sir, but take thee to thy faith. For 17 poniards are at thy bosom. Pray, pray, Monca Remediduce.
Scorbidolchos vol
Let me live, and all the secrets of the camp I'll show. Their force, their purpose. Nay, I'll speak to that which you will wonder at.
Oh, but wilt thou faithfully?
If I do not, damn me.
Buriti falta vaxoika.
He calls for the tortures. What will you say without him?
I will confess without constraint. If you had pinched me like a pasty, I could say no more.
Oh. Vasco Chimarcho.
Oblindo, Chicumor.
You are a merciful general. Our general bids you to answer what I shall ask you out of an oath.
Truly, as I hope to live.
First, demand of him how many horse the Duke is strong. What say you to that?
5,000 or 6,000, but very weak and unserviceable. The troops are all scattered, and the commanders very poor rogues.
Shall I set down your answer so?
Do. I'll take the sacrament on it, how and which way you will.
All's one to him. What a past-saving slave is this?
Poor rogues, I pray you say.
Oh, well, that's set down.
I humbly thank you, sir. A truth's a truth. The rogues are marvelous poor.
You shall demand of him whether one Captain Dumaine be in the camp, a Frenchman. Is this captain in the Duke of Florence's camp?
Upon my knowledge, he is. And lousy.
Nay, look not so upon me. We shall hear of your lordship anon.
What is this reputation with the Duke?
The Duke knows him for no other but a poor officer of mine and writ to me the other day to turn him out to bed. I think I have his letter in my pocket.
Oh, Mary, I'll search.
In good sadness, I do not know. Either it is there, or it is upon a file with the Duke's other letters in my tent.
Here it is. Here's a paper. Shall I read it to you?
I do not know if it be or no.
Our interpreter does it well.
Excellently.
Diane, the Count's a fool and full of gold?
This is not the Duke's letter, sir. This is an advertisement to one proper maid in Florence, Diana, to take heed of the allurement of one Count Rousillion, a foolish and idle boy, but for all that, very ruddish. I pray you, sir, put it up again.
And nay, I'll read it first by your favor.
My meaning in it, I protest, was very honest on behalf of the maid, for I knew the Count to be a dangerous and lascivious boy who is a whale to virginity and devours up all the fried fine.
Damnable both sides rogue!
When he swears oaths, bid him drop gold and take it. After he scores, he never pays the score. Half won is match well made, match and well make it. He never pays after debts, take it before, and say a soldier, Diane, told thee this. Men are to mell with, boys are not to kiss. For count of this, the Count's a fool, I know it. Thine, as he vowed to thee in thine ear, Parolles.
Oh, he shall be whipped through the army with this rhyme in his forehead.
If your life be saved, will he undertake to betray the Florentine?
I am the captain of the horse, Count Rousillion.
Oh, whisper with the general, I know his pleasure. There is no remedy, sir, but you must die. The general says that you have so traitorously discovered the secrets of your army, therefore must die. Come, headsman, off with his head.
Oh, let me live, or let me see my death.
That shall you, and take leave of all your friends. So look about you. Know you any here?
Good morrow, noble captain.
Good morrow, Captain Parolles.
God save you, noble captain. Come, and fare you well.
You are undone, Captain. All but your scarf. There's a knot on that yet.
Who could not be crushed by a plot?
Fare thee well, sir. I am for France. We shall speak of you there.
Oh. Yet I am thankful. If my heart would quake, 'twould burst at this. Captain, I'll be no more, but I shall eat and drink and sleep as soft as Captain shall. Simply the thing I am shall make me live. Who knows himself a braggart, let him fear this, for it shall come to pass that every braggart shall be found an ass. Rust sword, cool bushes, and Parolles live safest in shame, being fooled by fooly thrive. There's place and means for every man alive, all after him.
A prophet, I, madam, and I speak the truth. The next way. For I the ballad will repeat, which men full true shall find. Your marriage comes by destiny, your cuckoo sings by kind. Your cuckoo sings by kind.
That you may well perceive I have not wronged you. One of the greatest in the Christian world shall be my shorty, for whose throne 'tis needful, ere I can perfect mine intents, to kneel. His grace is at Marseille, to which place we have convenient convoy. You must know, I am supposed dead.
Huh.
The battle breaking, my husband hies him home, at the which place, heaven aiding, and by the grace of my good lord the king, will be before our welcome.
Gentle maid, you have never had a servant whose trust your business was more welcome.
Oh, nor you, madam, ever a friend whose thoughts more truly labor to recompense your love. You, Diana, under my poor instructions, yet must suffer something in my behalf.
Let death and honesty go with your impositions. I'm yours upon your will to suffer.
Yet, I pray you, but with the word, the time will bring on summer, when briars shall have leaves as well as thorns, and be as sweet as sharp. Oh, we must away. Our wagon is prepared, and time revives us. All's well that ends well. Still, the fine's the crown. Whate'er the course, the end is the renown.
Lost the gem of her, and our esteem is made much poorer by it. The nature of your great offense is dead, and deep within oblivion do we bury the incensing relics. Speak, boy!
My high repented blames due sovereign pardon me. Contempt, his scornful perspective did lend me, which warped the line of every other favor to a most hideous object. Thence it came that she who all men praised, and whom myself since I have lost have loved, was in mine eye the dust that did offend it.
Oh, by my old beard and every hair that's on it, Helen, that's dead, was a sweet creature. That ring in your hands, the last the ere I saw it on her finger.
Oh, hers it was not.
Now, I pray you, let me see it. For while I was talking, mine eyes were often fast to it. This ring is mine, and when I gave it her, I bade her that if her fortune ever stood necessity to help, that by this token I would relieve her. Had you the craft to relieve her of what should stead her most?
My gracious sovereign, however it pleases you to take it so, the ring was never hers.
Son, on my life I have seen her wear it, and she reckoned it at her life's rate. I am sure I saw her wear it. She called the saints to surety that she would never put this ring from her finger unless she gave it to yourself in bed, which you have never been, or sent it to us upon her great disaster.
She never saw it. If you shall prove this ring was ever hers, you shall as easy prove I husbanded her bed in Florence, where yet she never was.
Gracious sovereign, here's a petition from a Florentine who hath come short from 4 or 5 removes to tender it herself. And she told me, in a sweet verbal brief, it did concern your highness with herself.
Upon his many protestations to marry me when his wife was dead, I blush to say it, he won me. Now is the Count Rousillion the widower, his vows paid to me, and my honor paid to him. He fled from Florence, taking no leave, and I follow him to his country for justice. Granted to me, O king, for in you it best lies. Otherwise, a seducer flourishes, and a poor maid is undone. Diana Capulet, summoner in. I am afeard the life of Helen was foully snatched. I wonder, sir, since wives are monsters to you, and you fly them as you swear them lordship, yet you desire to marry? What woman's that?
I'm a wretched Florentine derived from the ancient Capulet. My suit, as I do understand, you know, and therefore know how far I may be pitied.
Let me go.
Come here, Count. Do you know this woman?
My lord, I neither can nor will deny, but that I know her.
What does thou charge him?
Why do you look so strange upon your wife?
She's none of mine, my lord.
Good, my lord, ask him upon his oath if he does think he had not my virginity.
What do you say to her?
She's impudent, my lord, and was a common gamester to the camp.
Do not believe him. Oh, behold this ring, whose high respect and rich validity did lack a parallel. Yet for all that, he gave it to a commoner of the camp, if I be one.
He blushes and 'tis hit of 6 preceding ancestors. That ring, conferred by testament to the sequent issue, hath been owed and worn. You are his wife, that ring's 1,000 proofs.
Send for your ring. I'll return it home and give me mine again.
I have it not.
Which ring was yours, I pray you?
Sir, much like the same upon your finger.
This ring was his of late.
As it was, I gave him being a bed.
Where did you buy it, or who gave it to you?
It was not given me, nor I did not buy it.
Who lent it to you?
It was not lent me neither.
Where did you find it?
Found it not.
If it was yours by none of all these ways, how did you give it him?
I never gave it him.
This woman's an easy glove, my lord. Here she goes off and on at leisure.
This ring was mine. I gave it to his first wife.
It might be yours or hers for aught I know.
I think thee now some common customer. Unless thou tellest me where thou gotst this ring, thou diest within the hour.
The jeweler that owes the ring is sent for, and she shall surety me. But for this lord who hath abused me as he knows himself, though yet he never harmed me. He knows himself my bed he hath defiled, and at that time he got his wife with child. And now, behold the meaning.
Is there no exorcist beguiles the truer office of mine eye? It's real that I see?
No, my good lord. 'Tis but the shadow of a wife, you see. The name and not the thing.
Both! Both! Oh, pardon!
Oh, my good lord. When I was like this maid, I found you wondrous kind. Here is your ring. And look you, here's your letter. Thus it says, when from my finger thou canst get this ring, and are by me with child, this is done. Will you be mine? Now you are doubly won.
If she, my lord, can make me know this clearly, I'll love her dearly. Ever, ever dearly.
Mine eyes smell onions, and I shall weep anon. All yet seems well, and if it ends so meet, the bitter past, more welcome is the sweet. That you express consent, which we will pay with strife to please you, day exceeding day. Ours be our patience then, and yours be our parts. Your gentle hands lend us, and take our hearts.